Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Space Podcast. So actually, I don't know how this is going to come out after I've recorded it because, as you can see, the green screen is not actually I shouldn't have done that. But look, end of the day, recording on a new camera, got a bit of a new setup going, using the wireless non thingy there. So yeah, obviously, if I keep looking down, it's just because I want to keep up to date with, I need to know that the camera's on and looking at me, etc. So basically, where have I been? Obviously, I said I was going to post weekly, and then that didn't happen. So that didn't happen because there's a zoom button. Hang on 1 second. I can zoom. Wow. Okay. Right. Hold tight because I'm going to just restart the podcast with this zoom function on, because then I'll be in the full green screen. So just hold on 1 second. Right. Okay. So, wow, that's high. That's way too high. I'll be looking up very much. I'm going to have to fix that. Hold on. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're live, we're locked in. Setup is complete, got the green screen working, got the camera on, we're looking up, we're looking bright, the light is good. If I wanted to blind myself, I probably could, but I think we're good for light. Let me know in the comments if we're not. And yeah, welcome to episode 2 of the Space Podcast. So I'm going to be looking down a little bit because I've got I haven't even got notes for this one. I've just got questions from my Discord server. I'll leave a link below in the description for the server. But yeah, I mean, what's been happening, everyone? Obviously, meant to do this every week or so, but then just life got in the way, and then I didn't. So yeah, I'm actually just gonna. There we go. I've got a so this week round, like what is going on, what is happening. Got a couple of questions from the server. I'm sure I'm gonna reel off and waffle about. Then we've got what else has happened. The F1's back. The race has hatched. The race has actually happened now. I haven't watched the highlights yet, so looking forward to seeing how that pans out. I did, however, open up Instagram and realised that I shouldn't have opened up Instagram, but I did open up Instagram, and Oscar Piastri's binned it on the way around to the grid. So that's good to know. I look forward to watching the rest of it. So that's that. What else has happened? Mate, I don't know. What's happening in the future? What are we in now? We're in March. Mother's Day is coming up. If you're an Amazon seller, get your Mother's Day stuff. Yeah, we'll just crack on with these questions though, because I have not scripted this in the slightest. I just wanted to get the camera set up, get a green screen set up, know what I was how I'd need to set it up for next time filming, etc. So I'm just going to reel off some of the questions. I'm not even going to put it up in post-editing with the fucking questions on the side because that's long and I cannot be bothered. The most you're getting out of me today is the fucking green screen so I can blast up the logo on there. But that's about it. Right. So, what made you start Amazon in the first place? Mistakes you made and wins from FBA Today. So this is from Ash. I went to Spring Fair with Ash not long ago. Not with Ash, but I went and met Ash there whilst we were there. You may also know Ash from FBA Navigators. He's got a good group there. And then he's also known as the Mad Scientist because he had white hair at one point for a little while. So what made me start it was everyone knows the story, but I'm going to say it anyway. Geezer that lives near me has a nice car, has a Mustang, and I said, "How'd you do it?" And then he said what Amazon was like, but he didn't go into detail. He just said, Amazon FBA. I then like so the way that it all came about is he posted it on his Instagram, and me being me, I kind of went into detective mode, screenshotted the apps that he was using, and then just Googled them, because this was before ChatGPT. You couldn't just pull off a screenshot and be like, "Hey chat, what is this?" So I had to actually manually go and find out what each app was. But it was okay, because once I found it, because I remember I incorporated the company 3 days before my birthday, and then I just I went ham with all my birthday money, just absolutely splashed it on stock in Tesco's, because at the time I was at Tesco's, so I was able to stock check literally every Tesco store. So that was good. That was alright. But yeah, in terms of like what made me get into it, it's just, bro, I saw a very nice car and was like, shit, I need to do this. Would I have started it otherwise? Probably not, just because I didn't know it existed. Obviously a lot of people, the car is a good big thing for them. Like, I know what I want to do with my my money when I get it, and where I put it, etc. It brings it into a whole perspective of, it takes a lot of years before you can just get a car like that. And I don't know whether he had it on finance or whether he bought it in cash, but it was a fucking nice Mustang. I'll give him that. Like, I remember, like, when at the beginning, I would ask him questions on Instagram, and I just wouldn't get an answer for about 3 or 4 weeks, just because he just didn't give me the time of day. But I don't blame him. Looking back, like, the amount of people that have asked me questions when they've been like 2 days into their Amazon stuff, and then give it 2 weeks and they just don't give a toss. Like, he was clever to not invest his own time until he saw that I was being serious with it. Like, when I was 6-7 months in, I was like, look mate, I've actually done a bit now, could you give any advice, or just some random shit that I was asking. But yeah, that's basically the main reason I got into it. I saw a nice car, I saw a guy that wasn't working for anyone but himself, and I kind of just wanted to copy it. But as we all know, everyone's position, everyone's journey, everyone's story, it's not the same as everyone else's. There are so many different avenues, paths. Depends on how much money you have, capital wise, stock wise. I don't know how much you started with, but I'm sure I'm sure it was more than £300 from his birthday money. So I mean, if it wasn't, then props to him for getting where he has from where he was. But that's basically why I started. And then in terms of wins, mistakes you made and wins. So mistakes of the biggest and most recent mistake is just going to be thinking I was financially and businessly ready for something that I'm just not ready for yet. So the whole thing I'm talking about is back in a few months ago now, back's when I thought I was ready to just go into wholesale, and it's just another step in the pathway, and once you make it to wholesale, then everything's easy, when that's just not the case. It's just, if anything, it's more of a ball ache. You have to deal with lead times, you have to deal with money being tied up in cash, in stock, that you might not see for another 3 or 4 weeks. It's just a longer process. I mean, in my current stages where I just need to build up as much capital as possible, I thought, hearing someone go, oh, 8 grand capital for wholesale is more than enough, like per week, maybe per day, maybe per every couple of days, maybe, but for a month, I mean, I blew that shit like if a minimum order value of on a wholesaler is like £2,000 or something, you're looking at 4 wholesalers, maybe a couple of lines per product per wholesaler. You know, at the end of the day, I've reverted back to OA, and the whole OA process for me is so much more simplistic, and I find it easier. And I don't want to sound like I'm choosing an easy road out, but at the end of the day, what are we here for? We're here just to make money. We're not here to have, yeah, we have a good time on the site, but we're not here for a laugh. We're not here to build wholesale relationships because we love it. You know, that's speaking to people over the phone, opening email, like open accounts with people. That's part of the game, but we're not doing it because we love to do it. We're doing it because it makes us money. So at the end of the day, the OA side of things makes me racks. I can make it the money from doing OA, so I'm going to do OA and make the money from it. You know, I got bored the other night and I finished all my admin work. I finished uploading everything that I needed to for my prep center, and checking the account, making sure the account health was good, just general admin stuff. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do some sourcing, and I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but finding a deal that's I put it somewhere. I can't remember where I put it. I'm just gonna find it real quick. Put it on my Instagram. Follow the Instagram if you're not already following. Yeah, found a £58 profit deal, 25% ROI, and honestly, the retailer that had it in stock, they had a lot in stock. So if I wasn't on a spending ban, I'd be all over it. But hey, man's on a spending ban, so can't be doing that. So it was a cost price of £229 and a sale price of £345.71. But I obviously when I source, I check all of mine off as bottom line. What is the lowest that I would want to sell it at? I do record that the buy box at the time was £350. So yeah, obviously more money to be made in there than what my SAS screenshots are. I'll show him. But if you want to follow the Instagram, it is Aydenfba on the gram. It's pretty nice little. I'm doing a post, at least one post every day, on my story, just to keep my engagement going. Just to see what else, if any other benefits come from it, and just to generally keep things going, really. Yeah, there's no harm in posting anything, but yeah, like I can post. We all family. We just took a tumble. We're gonna freehand this for a while, just because I think my sticky is unstuck. Yeah, right. Okay. Hold tight, because I'm doing this in one, whether I like it or not. Okay. I'm gonna do a quick transition to another location. Okay. Oh, you're joking me. Fucking chair. Oh. Right. I think we're good. I mean, slightly different angle now. I'm gonna have a bit of trimming issues down the bottom. Might have to do that in post, that's fine. Right, so apparently I haven't got much battery left after all that fucking around. So now that you're my eye level, that's a bit better for me. I've got less of the old neck pain. Now I just got to find the questions again. Right, mistakes made and wins. So obviously we've gone over the mistakes. I could list all the mistakes all day if I really wanted to. because there's so many that you have to make as any business owner to be able to progress anywhere with anything. So I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've also obviously had my wins. I got my first 1K profit month. That was pretty gassed. I was pretty cool, pretty happy with that. I felt like I sort of made it, and it was even better when I'd done it again for the second month in a row, because I just sort of felt a progression there. Nowadays, if I don't get a 1K profit month, it's like, shit, I failed that month. So that's why this month's looking a bit sketchy. Obviously, the knock-on effect of not spending anything at the moment is starting to take place, until one of my replenishables hits Amazon. But hey, live and learn. Don't get into debt, kids. And then another win is £10,000 sales revenue in a month. So I remember I was at £9,981 for a month last year, and I was like, come on, just someone somewhere, 20 quid's all you got to do. 20 quid. It never happened, and I was so like deflated from it. I thought, fuck, I was that close, and it didn't happen. And then I remember at 12 minutes past midnight, someone bought something for 25 quid, and I thought, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. And then it happened, obviously, the month after that, and it smashed it. I think I finished on over 12k. So obviously that's just in revenue. That's not profit, and everything taken into account at the end. But it's a good feeling to know that you're building a business that's making an impact. It's doing something. So yeah, I guess they're the two sort of slight normal small wins. I think another win for me, actually, and a really big. I mean, people probably won't agree with this because it's quite normal. But for someone that struggles with, I hate saying it because it's like using it as an excuse. For someone that has anxiety problems and not depression, I just get sad. Boys get sad too, so that's all right. Just generally doesn't have many people to talk to, or doesn't know who to talk to. It's just about everything and anything. Having a community behind me, or with me actually, like the amount of people that I've met through this that just want to listen and just want to talk, and then do just help out, is actually kind of crazy. These people are not special people. They are just normal people. They just have a business to run rather than work for someone else, or they do both at the same time. So like, it really puts into perspective, like, who can I say nowadays that's not in the Epstein files? Shit. Fucking who's popping right now? I can't even say Elon Musk, because Jeff Bezos, I don't know if he's in the Epstein files. I won't get in trouble for that. But Jeff Bezos, like, he's just a normal guy, or he was just a normal guy. He's just got racks to play with. Okay, so this has actually been the most fucky podcast I've ever done. Mainly because I've just been setting up the camera, green screen, everything. Everything's fallen apart. The camera actually fell off the mirror that I had it stuck to, and then I caught it, so that was a good catch. What else? I've just run out of battery on just the camera itself, so obviously I've had to put it back into this thing to record it. It was balancing on my light, which had the head mount in there, and now we're balancing on two boxes, and it's all just a bit like you're out of frame, and now I'm not really properly on the green screen completely. So now it's all a bit personal because I'm in your face, and if we just move it that way, like a little bit, like it's the whole getting used to it kind of thing. But yeah, right, I've got to scroll back to my questions again because again I've lost them. So I don't recall where we were at. I think I was just waffling about my fucking boys get sad too and all that crap. But yeah, just look after yourself, guys. How would you handle money management from Crimson? So this one, yeah. I'm not really much going to talk about how do I handle money management, just because I don't want to be giving out like advice to people that take the advice, because it's not really good advice. I'm just going to try. Yeah, because now you can't see shit. That's too bright. So money management wise, like, that's way too bright. I just say just spend what you can, and that's about it really. Don't invest more than you can't afford to pay back at any given point. Like, if you've got a credit card for 16 grand, but you know that your business isn't yet making 16 grand income after, you know, all your expenses, probably be best not to spend that 16 grand straight away. I'd recommend like limiting yourself maybe to, say, monthly your income after all your expenses is 12 grand, for example. By all means, spend 12 grand or 12 and a half grand, maybe even push it to 13 grand for that little bit of extra growth. But I wouldn't recommend going and spending 16 grand just because you have it. That's how you get into debt, and then you have problems down the line. I wouldn't know this from experience. I would know something similar, but it's not worth it. Especially like if you've got an Amex, their interest rates are pretty rough and they can cost you a bomb. That is one mistake I made. I remember I had a 4 grand credit limit, and I just I remember the business was making about £1 grand a month after expenses, and I just blew 4 grand. But then every week or so I was paying it back in, because I like repaying the card, just because I had the money to do it at that time. Then it just snowballed. I had obviously got to a point where I was on a 4k credit limit. I was actually spending around 6 to 8k on stock, which sounds great, but when you don't actually have the money to pull it back into the credit card, you're fucking yourself over big time. So that's just like sort of my personal experience kind of thing. Something I wouldn't recommend doing. Just be careful with your money. Spend what you can spend, what you can afford to spend, and sort of go from there really. How do I? Oh, fucking hell! Stupid Discord on mobile just pulls it straight back down. I think the question was how would you handle returns not sellable on Amazon anymore? So at the moment, all my returns come home. I've spoken to my prep center, Rainforest Prep. Shout out to them, the amazing prep center. Currently, everything comes to home, but I'm looking at changing it, so it goes back to them, because a lot of the stuff I've been getting recently has been sellable again. So the plan is to send it back to them so that they can send it back into Amazon. In terms of non-sellable stuff, it just goes eBay, Facebook. When the boot fair season starts up again, I'll just be boot fairing stuff again. So that's it really. Just gonna sort of bash through these because these are just boring Amazon questions. That I want to get into like a juicy pod sort of thing. Software choosers and why. So I only have SaaS, Seller Toolkit, Arborsource, QuickBooks for my accounting, and I'm actually just going to reel off what's in my folder, my FBA folder. So obviously you need the Amazon seller account, obviously, obvious reasons. Seller Amp SaaS because it ain't broken, so why are you trying to fix it? I've got Ascent for my repricer because using a basic repricer is all well and good, apart from when it chases the buy box and your price is just poof, that's no good for anyone. So I use Ascent. Link, yeah, there's a link to Ascent in my link tree that should be in the description of the video if I remember. Ascent's great. It will just, the amount of money I've made extra and additional profit wise with Ascent has been unreal. Because I don't know how it works, but it works wonders. I've got Seller Toolkit for my profit and loss and inventory management, like keeping an eye on things if it's damaged, any reimbursements that need doing. I've got QuickBooks for accounting. I've got Airtable, so it's basically like a glorified Google sheet. So how I keep track of all my purchases, all my returns, all my cashback, all my expenses, all my price sheets, all my supplier lists, all my contact details for people and businesses. Keep track of credit cards on there. Keep track of everything that goes on in my business goes through the Airtable, and that's really helpful. And all it is that. Obviously, Keeper, can't go without Keeper if you're doing Amazon. Got Google Sheets, ArborSource for sourcing, Link My Books, although that's like what the accountant uses. Rainforest Prep, the portal, obviously use that for the prep side of things. I've got a Ascent Sales Estimator, which is similar to the Jungle Scout Estimator, apart from it's done through Ascent, and I just prefer to use it. I don't think it's limited either, like Jungle Scout is is limited. Sorry, I read all the words. I read my affiliate folder, so then put me off. So in terms of that's what I use, and in terms of the why, obviously Amazon Seller Central account, use that because you have to. Seller app because it's not broken. Ascent I've gone through. Airtable I went through. Keeper is just. And then ArborSource, I've tried other products and softwares and services, and I have either fallen out of love with them or they're just way too expensive for what they are now. So pretty simple. Obviously, I have an accountant as well, and I have a VA. So that's that. I also use ChatGPT, obviously, for a lot of things. That goes, I just put that through as the business these days, because I don't really use it for personal things. I've started to use the agent mode that I've seen others use for different tasks, and it actually helps to speed up things because it uses its own browser and can do its own things for you whilst you're doing other tasks. So that's really helpful actually, because I can't go into what I was doing, but I was doing something, and I booted up the separate browser, and it just picked out a few results whilst I was busy doing what I was preparing to do. So it's really quite simple. There's not a lot going on software wise. I just try to keep expenses down, even as a seller that's slightly more like prolific now and slightly more built up. I still believe that you should keep your expenses down as much as possible. So from Alan, FBA, are you full-time FBA or do you do it on the side of a full-time job? If not, when do you see yourself going full-time FBA? And also, what software do you recommend for beginners to start with? Which software do you use now? So I'll go with the second batch of questions from Alan there, just because they were similar to my previous one from Crimson, which was, which software do you recommend? I would just say, plain and simple, Keeper, SaaS. I mean, you don't desperately need Keeper at the beginning if you're keeping your expenses low. I think they've just had a price increase, because SaaS has obviously integrated. They have the charts on there. They're just not as in depth. You can't get the details on the offers. You can't get the details on where if sellers were all kicked off a listing at the same time. You can't get the details on that. there's a few other bits and pieces you can't check the variations on there, etc., etc. But I would definitely say, you definitely need to SaaS. You're obviously going to need your Seller Central account. As for any other softwares, probably just Keeper. You can just manually source for the first couple of months or so before you invest in any sourcing software like Arbisource, for example. Mainly because you kind of want to just get your own sourcing out of the way. Like, you need to know what you're doing before a software sort of picks it up for you. Unless you've unless you're proper locked in and you know what you're doing, I would just manually source for a bit. Or storefront, or storefront sourcing, or newsletter sourcing, just to sort of get an upper hand on your competitors. That's all I'm going to say with that, though, because can't be leaking too much. Am I full-time FBA? Do it on the side. So I'm currently employed by a company. I am in employment. I am a slave to the system. I kind of plan to do it for as much as I don't want to be working anymore. The reason I do work is because I'm a fucking slob. And if I don't work, then I don't tend to keep active. Although I'm working so much better health at the moment that's changing. So I don't want to work, but at the same time I'm going to work. Gonna build up the business as much as I can to a point where I think actually I can take out $1,000 a month and easily survive on it per month, because that's all I need now. But yeah, the plan for me is to. Well, I currently obviously own my own car. I give myself less than 2 years, so it'd probably be about 10 to 12 months, and then I'm going to either buy a new car outright in cash, depending on obviously how I am money wise. This is why I gave myself at least 2 years, but I'd like to move up the timeline because I believe I can do it. And then within those either 12 months or 2 years, I want to either buy outright a car or chuck it down on finance and then just pay it out. Pay it that way. But by the looks of things, like, you don't know what can happen in the next 12 months. It could all go to shit, and I could be not doing Amazon. But I've got a firm plan in place. I've written it all down. I know exactly what I'm doing on which months. I know what I'm sourcing at what times. So yeah, I'm kind of a bit more grounded with Amazon now. Cool. So that's the questions. That's the boring stuff out of the way. That's my waffling out of the way. Now, what are we saying? What are we saying, Cuzzy? Obviously, your family can't be doing none of that shit because that is AB's thing. So, big up AB for being the inspo for Wagga one. We're going with that one because I keep doing that at work. So it's happening now. It's getting onto getting onto the old YouTube scene. Basically, yeah. So F1's back. I haven't seen the results. Haven't watched anything. I watched the practice and the quality. So that's good. But it'd be nice to see the new regs and the new regulations on the cars. See what they're saying. Good old Oscar for binning it off straight away. So that's going well. What else is going on? Hang on. I got to chat GPT some random bullshit to give me some topic because I ain't got a clue what to do. Brother, where's my no, I don't want all of that. Wagga one. Give me a topic for my podcast, please.
Given your entrepreneurial focus and the breadth of your projects, I'd recommend a topic that resonates with both your audience and your own journey. How about a deep dive into the realities
Nah,
of
bro. No, chill. So basically, already halfway through it. I just need one right here, right now. You're on cam, bro. You're on cam.
All right, straight to it. Discuss the pros and cons of leveraging business credit for
Bro.
short-term cash flow. When it's a growth tool
Dude.
and when it's a
Chill.
Perfect.
No. Make it non-Amazon related.
Got it. Here's a pivot. Talk about balancing side hustles with a main job and the...
Bro, honestly, this thing, fucking AI is dead, absolutely dead. It's so cooked. He's so like focused in on he's more focused than I am on Amazon. It's crazy. The F1's back. Again, the weather's sometimes taking a turn for the better. Like, I did an overnight at work the other night, absolutely cooked myself. I thought, oh shit, yeah, I'll stay up all day and then just like sleep really well the day after. That didn't happen. Finished at 7, went for a 2-hour drive, came back and was like, yeah, I just can't keep my eyes open. Cooked myself, went to sleep for fucking like 8 hours and was like, cool, I ain't sleeping. Guess what though? That was the best weather we had all week. So, don't do overnights, kids. It ain't worth it. The fucking £2 extra, because that's all you get, because of like scammy companies on it. But it's cool. I didn't mind it at the time. It was alright. It was like nice insight, because you don't know these things until you do these things. So I did these things, and I don't want to do these things no more. Yeah, we'll be getting the old we'll be getting Car Festival season back soon. Gas for that, because I've got the Yaris at the moment. I need to clean the Yaris again, because Yaris is dirty. She is dirty. Again, I took her for a drive, a couple of B roads, and yeah, filthy again. Filthy little girl she is. No, that's not what I mean. Filthy little girl. Oh mate, that is not what I mean. Don't clip that. That's gonna come back and haunt me in 10 years' time. I then got the certificate of entitlement for my new number plate, which is the exact same as my current number plate minus an 8. So it'll actually, it's not going to go on the Yaris, it'll go on the next car. So the next car is, I don't care what colour it is. I tell a lie. So the next car, obviously I was thinking Supra. But Toyota are going on a kind of generational streak at the moment, and it's kind of like you don't know what car they're going to bring out. So obviously we had the GR Yaris, but the full one, and like the full petrol turbo, and that thing came out, and then they brought out the Mark II, like the version 2. Now we've got an automatic version, and they're like 60k. And then they brought out 2 special editions alongside it, and there's rumoured to be another one at some point somewhere. We know that we're getting the MR2 redone, so we're getting another new MR2. They've just released the GR GT and the GT3. I think that's what they called it, and that's pretty fun. They're apparently they're road cars. I don't quite know how they are, because they look and sound like absolute beasts. The Celica they've rumoured and they then confirmed last month. We've got a new Supra coming that's not going to be BMW related whatsoever, so that's something I'm looking forward to. But it's all like the more newer cars come out, obviously it begs the question of what the price is going to be like for the older cars. So I was always looking at a GT86, and then I was like, I don't want a GT8, because I like the GT86 was like the one that came before the GR86, and I like the look of both of them, but I prefer the look of the GR86. Plus, I just seem to like everything that has the word GR in it, because I have a Yaris GR Sport. I like a normal Yaris GR. I like a GR Supra. So yeah, I've clearly got attachment problems with that. but yeah, no, I'm looking at getting a GR86 and not a GT86 just because they are too old. Like if I wanted a GT86, that would be perfectly fine because they are 16 grand and I can buy that with cash right here, right now if I wanted to. But I don't want a GT86, so I won't be getting a GT86. I instead will get a GR86, and they do it in multiple different. Like there's different alloy options, like there's silver or black, and I need it in black, so I have to just wait till the black one comes out. People are gonna hate me for this, but I'll be getting an automatic, so deal with it. Um, and then yeah, so the GR86 will. I don't mind what color it comes in because whatever color it comes in, I'll get it PPF'd and then I will get it wrapped as well. So it doesn't really matter what color it would come in because, like I say, yeah, I'll be wrapping it black and then I'll be PPFing it anyway. So that's that. The current play is yeah. So I'll just probably get a short plate because I've got less digits on the plate now. So yeah, but it's just gonna look nice because I'll have my driveway. We'll just have my daily Yaris hybrid thing, with obviously the put the personalized plate on there that is like somewhat representative of my business, and some of it's just random numbers. And then I'll have on the other side of it will be the GR86, which is not. It's not even going to be like just a fun car because I know people that daily 86s, so it's fine. It's just going to be chill. Again, with a personalized plate, everything will be black on both cars. I'll modify the 86 to put underglow under it. I'm looking at I'm thinking either blue or red, but actually anything will go because I know that you can get apps on your phone to control the colors of it. Get some ambient interior lighting going. So yeah, I've got a lot of. I have a whole like mind map, and in the mind map it has so many different little stalks of what I want to be doing with it. So yeah, that's that. Anything else? We're skipping the lazy corner this week because just because it's been so messy anyway. Plus, I can't be asked to post it to edit all of this in post because the green screen's probably not fully covered. I'm probably not fully covered. So yeah, there's a lot that I've just waffled, and yeah, it'll just end up being yeah. I'm just not gonna fucking edit a lot of stuff and then gonna leave it as it is. Chuck on the green screen at the end and call that a day. I've lost the box. I'm using the box, so that's why I thought I'd lost it. Is there anything else for me to go over? I've gone over my questions. I don't think there is. I'm going to slightly lose concentration and get twitchy. I'm a bit hungry, so I need to go and eat and get a bit twitchy. So I'm going to end it there. And yeah, if you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.